Waiting is definitely my least favorite pastime by far. But recently I've come to understand why that is. Growing up, I don't think I ever really understood the difference between procrastination and waiting. Don't get me wrong, when you're waiting for something, you're waiting for something. But if I am waiting on a screw to finish a table, it's not procrastination because I'm waiting on the screw to finish a table. But it can feel like that because I'm not doing anything productive while I'm waiting on said screw. And while I was waiting on said screw, I probably could have made a meal or learned how to play the guitar. Maybe just, I don't know, read a book. But instead, I sat there staring at the ceiling, complaining about how the screw wasn't here. So now I can't build the table that I wanted. And because I couldn't build the table that I wanted, I couldn't do any of the other things that I definitely wanted / needed to do, which is untrue. So when it came time, I think, for me to go to college, I definitely feel as though I needed a gap year or to wait. I needed that pause in between, and I never really took it until now. I was forced to take it now. I'll let you know why. But I didn't really take it because I didn't want to procrastinate. In the mentality that I had then, I didn't want to leave my student mindset and get so accustomed to doing other world things that I just never go back to school. Which, don't get me wrong, it makes sense. It sounds like it makes sense. It makes sense to the people around me, but it never really made sense in my heart because, first of all, that student mindset for me, I needed time for that student mindset to mature. That student mindset had a lot of procrastinating. I could get it done at 11:59 if I really wanted to, kind of thing. And it wasn't going to work for the space that I was about to enter. It made absolutely no sense to continue with a high school mindset into a college atmosphere. So when I got accepted into my dream college, I was like, yes, God is giving me the go ahead to just go right into college with that high school mindset, when that was not the case. I got into the dream school and did not have the money to attend dream school. So now I'm paying off that first quarter that I took, a cute 3 months, and now 6 months into a gap year, kind of being made to understand why I had to wait and give myself time to mature. And just because I was given this time to mature, finally, I have come to realize that I don't have to sit and stare at the ceiling and complain. Now, for the Healthy Hoes podcast, actually has a really good episode on this called The Art of Stillness. And in that episode, she talks about this taking time to, I haven't listened to it in a while, but I trust my memory. We're going to do a decent job on this. Taking time to slow down and just appreciate where you are. You don't have to let go of your ambition to really appreciate where you are. And once you take that time to be still and notice that, from there you can really move on and try to build from there. You can't build from a foundation you don't know about. Like if you had a box full of sand and you're trying to build a brick house on it, right? But you don't know it's sand. You just start building, you just start throwing rocks together and you keep on wondering why it's falling. If you would take the time and look around and see that you are on a beach, you would see that you built a house on the sand. You see what I mean? So that was a really good episode, and it really resonated with me. And that was really when the vision for this piece came to be. And once I had heard it, I didn't listen to it until the second episode she had on Stillness, which I think is by the same title. And by that episode, I had really listened, heard, digested what was said, and from there I could put it into practice. Except when I put it into practice, I looked around and the most terrifying realization had came upon me that I was nowhere near where I wanted to be in my life. I was, you know, when you're in high school, you have all these dreams of where you're going to be when you graduate. Like 4 years is so far away. I was like, I'm going to be living on my own. I would have started my own business. I would be attending the college of my dreams at the same time somehow. I would this, I would that. Before the age of 25, I would be a billionaire before the age of 25. But taking the time to look around and assess where I am and see that it wasn't where I wanted to be was terrifying. Not only because I wasn't where I wanted to be, but also because how do I get to where I want to be, and in a timely fashion? How much time would that take? Would I still be able to get back on track with where I wanted to be since high school, or would that entire vision for my life come crashing down because I couldn't get what I wanted at this time now? So I think when I break it down like that, I really do sound like a bit of a spoiled brat, but I feel like with instant gratification culture, it makes sense. And it also makes sense when I just look how I think. It's very formulaic. 2 plus 2 equals 4. So if 2 is where 2 needs to be to meet the other 2, it's going to equal 4. And since my ducks were not all the way in a row, it was really scary. I was used to just being like, yeah, I have it all together, or yeah, I'm going to have it all together because of course I am. Don't get me wrong, I still will have how do I words? I will still have everything that I dreamt of. I will still achieve my vision, my goal for my life, but it will take time. And what I do with that time while I'm waiting on the screw to build the table, I actually picked up a guitar. I did. I bought a guitar off of Temu, of all places. It was actually somehow good quality. If you were looking to do the same, I don't know that I would recommend it, but if you're looking to do the same, pay attention to the height before you accidentally buy a ukulele. They have a lot of ukuleles on there and a lot of violins. Know what you're looking for. It should be at least 3 feet, at least. But as I was saying, I actually picked up a guitar and I'm learning the guitar right now. Went to YouTube University. I'm learning the guitar because why not? If I have to go work at a job that I would not prefer to be working at, I might as well work on other things that I envision for myself. So I picked up the guitar. I started redecorating my room, which I do plan on recording the rest of, by the way, because I'm not done with it. But I picked up the guitar. I finally started a record collection, got really into records. I got back into making art again. This piece is probably the first piece that I made that wasn't a school assignment since high school, since maybe AP art. And I'm actually, that's the first big piece I've made for myself since freshman year of high school. That's a lot of years of just making art because the teacher said so, or drawing something because it was due yesterday and I missed the due date. And if I don't do it now, it's going to be under 90. Can't do that. Can't have that. So yeah, I guess since I'm waiting on this scholarship and for certain things to just pull through as they will, it's best for me to be productive. And while I'm doing those productive things, it's also very important for me to remember that just because it's not happening now doesn't mean it will never happen. Every good story needs pacing. It can't be rushed and it can't be too slow. It's a very important balance that God, or whatever you may believe in, for me it's God, but that's what they have control over. They control the pacing, not me, not my mom, not as many things as I wish could be controlling the pacing right now. It's God. It's in somebody else's hands. I don't control the pacing, at least not in this case. So I will work on reading a book while waiting for the script. And in waiting for the book, I created my latest masterpiece called The Art of Waiting, that I feel like encapsulates this this little journey, this little season that I was in for a hot minute. And thank you for listening all the way through. If you were watching, thank you for watching me put it together. That's really cool of you. But if you got something out of it, that's amazing, because don't get me wrong, I wrote a script. I'm looking at the script. I'm just not reading it. And this is all off the dome, guys. But again, thank you all for investing your time and going on this little ramble with me. And I wish you all the best love, happiness, and joy in this moment. This has been your favorite angel, and Ebony Angel. And I'm peacing out, y'all. Bye.